I got a call a few months ago from a patient's daughter. Her mother, 78 years old, suddenly became dizzy, confused, and unsteady at home. They thought it was a stroke. They thought it was age catching up. But it wasn't either of those. It was something far simpler. A drug mix-up from 2 pills she took every morning.
And that's more common than people realize. Seniors don't take dangerous pills. They take normal ones, but normal pills can create dangerous chemistry.
The part that saved her life is incredible. Before she swallowed her pills that morning, she spoke one simple sentence out loud, a habit she picked up from me. That sentence slowed her down just long enough for her daughter to notice something was wrong and call for help. And today she's fully recovered.
That small pause, it can change everything. Because after 60, the body reacts differently. The liver processes slower, kidneys filter slower, and meds linger longer.
Exactly. And welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Howard Tucker, neurologist and longevity physician. I've spent decades studying how seniors age, and here's the truth most people don't hear. Seniors aren't harmed by the pills they take. They're harmed by the pills they mix without knowing it. According to research, 1 in 4 seniors taking 4 or more medications experiences quiet side effects like confusion, memory fog, or abnormal heart rhythms that they assume is aging.
And I'm Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara. For more than a century, I've watched this play out. People blame age, but what they're really feeling is interaction. Interaction between pills, interaction between supplements, interaction between timing and metabolism.
And that's the problem, isn't it? The pills themselves are fine, but when we stack them, when we take them too close together, when we mix them with coffee or juice, or when we add supplements without checking the timing, things change inside the body. The chemistry shifts.
Yes. Medications compete. They block each other. They intensify each other. And even a mild blood pressure pill can behave differently if taken with the wrong drink or next to the wrong vitamin.
Which brings us to why we're here today. There is one single step, a tiny daily habit you do before you take your pills, that dramatically cuts the risk of dangerous drug mixes.
A step so simple most people overlook it. But when you do it consistently, you give the body a chance to process safely instead of react unpredictably.
We're going to explain this step. We'll break down how it works. We'll walk through real examples. And we'll show you the science behind why this protects your brain, your heart, and your independence.
But not yet.
Not yet. Because if you understand why this works, you'll never take your pills the same way again.
So let's begin.
Doctor, let's start with the real reason this happens. Because seniors don't wake up saying, "Let me mix my pills the wrong way today." They follow instructions. They listen to their doctors. They trust their routines. So why do these silent drug interactions show up so often?
Because the body after 60 is not the same body from 40. Everything slows. Digestion slows. Absorption slows. The liver becomes more cautious. The kidneys become more selective. So even normal medications begin to overlap inside the system longer than expected.
Meaning a pill someone took at 8 a.m. might still be active when they take the next pill at noon.
Exactly. And when 2 active ingredients meet at the wrong moment, they don't argue politely. They react. They intensify side effects. They block each other. Or they confuse the nervous system. What looks like fatigue or confusion is often chemistry, not aging.
And you've said this before. Most seniors assume symptoms like dizziness, memory fog, or sudden weakness are just part of getting older. But according to research, these effects often mimic natural aging and go unnoticed for years.
Yes, I've treated so many patients who believed they were declining when in truth their medications were competing. Once we changed the timing or separated the pills, the fog lifted, the energy returned, their balance improved.
I see the same thing in my practice. A patient says, "Doctor, I feel off, but all my tests are normal." And the answer is rarely dramatic. It's usually something simple. A vitamin taken next to a prescription, a blood thinner taken with the wrong supplement, A morning pill swallowed too fast with hot coffee.
Coffee and supplements are a common combination that causes problems. The body absorbs both too quickly, sending the bloodstream into chaos. Many seniors don't know this. They think they're starting the day healthy.
And yet one tiny timing mistake can make the difference between feeling steady or feeling off all day. That's why this conversation matters, because the danger isn't the medication. The danger is misunderstanding the chemistry.
And this is where the one step comes in. A step that slows the process. A step that lets the brain check in. A step that resets awareness before swallowing anything.
But before we reveal that, I want people to understand something important. Even harmless supplements like magnesium, vitamin D, or herbal blends can change how prescription drugs behave. We've seen this in countless senior cases.
Yes. And it's never intentional. Seniors want to stay healthy. They add supplements to support themselves. But the body doesn't see supplement and medication. It only sees chemicals entering the bloodstream.
That's why today is so important. We want you to know how to protect yourself, not by taking fewer medications, but by taking them smarter.
And by adding the one step that keeps your brain, your heart, and your timing safe.
Which we're about to get into. But before we reveal the exact sentence and why it works, I want to ask you one thing, doctor.
Go ahead.
When seniors hear drug interaction, they picture something dramatic. But in reality, most interactions are silent, right?
Silent, subtle, and slow. That's what makes them dangerous. They hide inside everyday life until something finally feels wrong. And by then, the body has been overwhelmed for months or even years.
And that's why this step is so powerful, because it catches the issue before the pill goes down.
Yes. It's prevention in its simplest, most human form.
All right, let's move into the step itself. Doctor, let's finally reveal it. The one step seniors should do before they take their pills. The step that saved my patient's life. The step we both teach in our clinics. And it's shockingly simple.
Yes. And it works because it forces the brain to slow down and check the body before anything enters the bloodstream.
The step is this. Before taking your pills, say out loud, "What am I taking? And what is it for?"
That's it, one sentence, but that sentence creates awareness, and awareness prevents mistakes. And
People underestimate how powerful this is. When you speak it out loud, you interrupt autopilot. You interrupt rushing. You interrupt habits that have gone silent after years of repetition.
seniors often take pills by memory, not by intention. They believe they know their routine. But the brain after 60 relies more on cues and less on automatic recall. Speaking the sentence activates the prefrontal cortex. That is the brain's decision-making center.
And when that part of the brain wakes up, timing mistakes drop dramatically. Wrong pills get caught. Doubles get avoided. Dangerous combinations get noticed. And confusion gets exposed before the pill goes down.
Exactly. This single pause can prevent the overlaps we discussed earlier, especially with seniors taking 4 or more medications. That group faces the highest risk of fatigue, dizziness, mild confusion, and heart rhythm changes from mixing pills or taking them too close together.
And here's what most people don't realize. Many drug interactions begin not because of the pill itself, but because of timing and distraction. A phone rings, the dog barks, a thought pops into your head, and before you know it, you've taken 2 morning pills together that should have been separated by hours.
Or you take a supplement and a prescription at the same time, not knowing one blocks the absorption of the other. That happens constantly with magnesium, blood pressure medications, vitamin D, and anticoagulants. And seniors often misread the reactions as aging.
But when you stop and say the sentence, "What am I taking and what is it for?" the brain recalibrates instantly.
It also exposes symptoms that people ignore. If someone says the sentence and feels off or the words feel strange, that's often the first sign the brain is experiencing a drug-related imbalance.
I've seen that so many times. A patient slows down, realizes their mouth feels heavy, or they're slurring a word slightly. Suddenly, we catch early signs of medication overload, dehydration, or even a neurological issue. before it escalates.
And let's emphasize this. We're not asking seniors to memorize chemistry. We're asking them to activate attention. The sentence is simply a switch that turns on safety.
And when that switches on, the chance of dangerous mixing drops. Not because the pills change, but because the senior taking them becomes aware of the entire moment.
It's simple, it's fast, and it's life-saving.
Now let's go deeper. What exactly happens inside the body when pills are taken without this awareness? And why does slowing down change the outcome?
That's the key to the whole episode.
Then let's go there next. Doctor, let's walk people through what actually happens inside the body when pills are taken too close together or mixed without awareness. Because this isn't guesswork. There's real physiology behind it.
Yes. And it begins in the gut. After 60, the digestive system slows down. Food stays longer. Pills dissolve slower. The stomach empties more gradually. So two medications that were once safely separated in younger years now overlap inside the digestive tract.
Meaning they enter the bloodstream at the same time, even if someone feels they took them hours apart.
Exactly. And once they enter the bloodstream, the liver becomes the next challenge. The liver is the body's filter. But seniors often have reduced liver enzyme activity, so medication breakdown slows dramatically. A pill that used to clear in 6 hours may now linger for 12.
And if the next pill arrives before the first one is fully processed, the chemistry changes. Levels rise, effects intensify. The brain becomes the first organ to notice it.
Yes. The brain reacts quickly to any imbalance. Even small changes in drug concentration affect memory, balance, speech, and awareness. That's why seniors often feel foggy or not themselves when medications clash. And they blame aging.
One of the most common signs I see is slurred words or hesitation in speech. It's subtle. People think it's tiredness, but often it's the brain signaling that medications are stacking.
And the heart is the second organ affected. Drug mixes can alter heart rhythm. Some combinations cause the heart to beat too slowly. Others make it race. And seniors frequently interpret this as anxiety or stress, not a chemical interaction.
And the kidneys, we can't forget them. The kidneys clear up medication. But research shows kidney filtration naturally declines with age, so drugs stay active longer than expected. Even supplements can overload the system when taken carelessly.
Yes. Magnesium, vitamin D, herbal blends, these are helpful in the right context. But when mixed with prescriptions, they can block absorption or amplify effects, especially when swallowed together on an empty stomach with morning coffee.
So the body becomes a traffic jam. Pills arriving, pills waiting, pills colliding, and seniors feel the consequences in their energy, memory, sleep, and balance.
This is why the one step we discussed matters so much. When you pause and speak the sentence, you activate awareness. And awareness gives the brain time to check, am I steady? Am I clear? Am I grounded enough to take this now?
And that single check-in prevents half the risks we see in clinics every day.
Yes. Because senior health isn't only about taking medication, it's about timing, intention, and listening to the body before adding more chemistry to the system.
So now the question becomes, how do seniors use that one sentence correctly? And what should they pay attention to when they say it?
That's the next crucial step.
Doctor, now that we've explained what happens inside the body, let's teach people how to actually use this step the right way. Because it isn't just about saying words, it's about noticing what the body tells you when you say them.
Yes. The sentence acts like a spotlight. It reveals things you normally ignore. And the way you speak it matters. You must say it slowly, with intention, out loud, not in your head. The brain responds differently when it hears your own voice.
The sentence again is simple. What am I taking, and what is it for? But here's the real secret. While you say it, you're listening for signals. And most seniors already know these signals. They just haven't connected them to medication timing.
One of the biggest signals is hesitation. If the words feel slow or heavy coming out of your mouth, that is not normal aging. That is the brain showing early overload. When medications linger too long, Speech is often the first system to change.
I've caught so many early problems this way. A patient pauses, blinks, repeats the sentence. Suddenly they notice their tongue feels thick or their jaw feels lazy. These are small red flags that the nervous system is working harder than it should.
Another signal is confusion. If someone forgets the name of a pill while asking the question, that's not a memory problem. It often means two medications have overlapped and are interfering with attention or short-term recall.
And then there's the breath. Seniors don't realize how much breath tells us. If you say the sentence and suddenly need to inhale sharply or feel chest tightness, sometimes that's a sign your heart rhythm is compensating for chemical stress. Many drug interactions affect the cardiovascular system before anything else.
Yes. And if you feel even mild dizziness while saying the words, slow down immediately. Don't take anything yet. Dizziness is one of the clearest signs that timing is off or doses are overlapping. It's the brain asking for a moment of space.
And that's what this step does. It gives space. It gives the body time to stabilize. Before adding more chemistry, it turns blind routine into mindful safety.
And the beauty is that it works even before breakfast, before coffee, before anything else, because the moment you speak the sentence, the brain shifts into assessment mode. It begins checking blood pressure, balance, clarity, hydration, all automatically.
So the goal isn't to memorize drug interactions. The goal is to listen, to notice, to treat this moment as a safety checkpoint.
Exactly. Seniors don't need more rules, they need more awareness. And this sentence offers that in the simplest way.
So now that people know how to use it, let's move into the next part. What seniors should do if the sentence feels off, or if something unusual happens while they say it.
Yes, because that's where the real protection begins.
Doctor, this part is critical, because once seniors start using the sentence, many will notice something unexpected. The words may feel slow, their mouth may feel heavy, and their balance may shift. Or they may feel a tiny moment of confusion. And that's the moment that matters most. What should they do when that happens?
The first step is simple. Stop. Don't take anything yet. The body is signaling that something inside isn't ready. That pause alone prevents countless mistakes.
Yes. Because those tiny signs, slurred words, hesitation, mild dizziness, are not random. They are the brain firing a warning, and seniors must listen.
Exactly. When the sentence feels wrong, the body is telling you one of three things. First, you may still have medication in your system from the previous dose. The digestive or liver processes may not have completed yet.
Second, your blood pressure may be unstable. That often shows up as a breath catch, a small sway, or a foggy moment.
Third, your brain may already be compensating for a medication interaction that you haven't noticed consciously. And the sentence exposes it.
So what should someone do next? Let's be practical.
They should wait at least 10 minutes. Sit down, drink a small amount of water, let the body stabilize. Most people don't realize how quickly the nervous system responds when given a moment of rest.
And if the words still feel off after the rest,
Then separate the medications. Take only the most essential pill first and delay the others. The body does better with single inputs when it feels overwhelmed.
this is something I tell my own patients. If your body hesitates, honor the hesitation. That hesitation is intelligence. It's not weakness, it's awareness.
Yes. And if a senior ever feels new confusion or unusual drowsiness or difficulty forming the sentence at all, they should call their doctor or pharmacist. These can be early signs that medications or supplements are interacting improperly.
And I want to emphasize this because research shows seniors often misinterpret medication reactions as just aging. They think memory fog or balance issues are inevitable, but they are often chemical signals, not decline. Signal.
Exactly. And when the sentence catches these signals, it prevents them from becoming crises.
This one habit gives power back to seniors. It gives them control over timing, control over awareness, control over how their body receives medication.
And most importantly, it gives them safety. because you cannot correct what you do not notice.
So now let's move to something just as important: when seniors should use the sentence and how often it can protect them throughout the day.
Yes, because using it once in the morning is good, but knowing when else to use it is even better.
Now that we've shown people how the sentence works and what to do when something feels off, let's talk about when to use it. Because seniors take pills at different times of the day: morning, noon, bedtime. Some take 5 pills, some take 15. So how often should they use this safety step?
Every single time they take a pill. Not just in the morning, not just once a day, every time, because awareness is not a one-time event. It's a moment-by-moment check-in with the brain.
Yes, and here's why that matters. The body changes throughout the day. Hydration changes. Blood pressure changes. Blood sugar changes. Fatigue builds. Emotional stress builds. And medications behave differently depending on the internal environment.
Exactly. A pill that's safe at 9 a.m. may hit differently at 4 p.m. if the person is dehydrated, stressed, or has already taken another medication that's still active.
So the sentence becomes a reset point, a safety switch, a way to check: am I steady right now? Is my brain clear? Is my body ready? And that check can prevent problems that don't show up in the morning but appear later in the day.
Yes. And many seniors take supplements at night to help with sleep. Magnesium, herbal calming blends, vitamin D. These are helpful, but when mixed with blood pressure pills or diabetes medication at night, the chemistry can shift. Speaking the sentence at night is just as important as speaking it in the morning.
And I also want to point out something you've told thousands of patients, doctor. The more medications a person takes, the more powerful this simple habit becomes. Seniors taking 4 or more pills a day face the highest risk of experiencing symptoms that mimic aging, but are actually chemical overload.
Yes, that group benefits the most. And the sentence is not just for safety. It teaches the nervous system a rhythm, a moment of checking in. Seniors who use it regularly report improved clarity, better balance, and fewer episodes of sudden dizziness because they're catching the signal early.
Another situation where the sentence should absolutely be used is after naps or periods of fatigue. If someone wakes up groggy and immediately takes a pill, they might miss the early warning signs their brain is giving them.
And during illness, when someone has a cold, flu, or dehydration, medications behave differently. The sentence becomes even more important because the body is already compensating.
So let's simplify this. Use the sentence every morning, every afternoon dose, every evening dose, every supplement, every time. Short, simple, consistent.
Yes, because the goal is not perfection. The goal is protection. And this small habit protects far more than people realize.
Now that people know when to use it, let's finish with one more essential piece: what seniors should do long term to keep this habit effective and keep their medication routine safe for years to come.
Yes, because maintaining this awareness is what builds lifelong safety.
Doctor, before we wrap, I want people to understand something. This one sentence, this tiny pause, it's not just a safety tool, it's a doorway. A doorway into noticing the earliest signs the body gives us. Signs most seniors miss for years.
Yes, because once you learn to listen before you take your pills, you begin to notice things beyond medication. You notice breath, you notice balance, you notice clarity. You notice when something inside feels different from yesterday.
And that awareness doesn't stop with medication. It spills into the rest of your life. You start catching things earlier. You start preventing problems long before they grow.
That's the true value of this habit. It doesn't just protect you from dangerous drug mixes. It teaches you how to read your body again. And that skill is more powerful than any pill.
And for everyone listening, I want you to imagine something. Imagine if you use this sentence, not only before your pills, but before every important decision your body makes. Before eating, before standing, before sleep. What would you notice? What would you catch early? What would you prevent?
Because the body always whispers before it shouts. And seniors who learn to hear the whisper Stay healthier, safer, and steadier.
And here's the part we're saving for our next episode. There is a second sentence, a follow-up phrase, one that reveals issues the first sentence can't catch, one that exposes deeper problems in speech, blood flow, and brain communication.
Yes. A simple line that has helped us detect early dementia, stroke risk, and medication overload long before symptoms appear.
And we're going to teach it next time. Because if today's sentence protects you from medication mistakes, the next one protects you from something far bigger.
So stay curious, stay aware, and keep listening.
We'll see you in the next episode. And trust me, you don't want to miss the second sentence.